The federal government of the United States of America has been a problem in the mortgage markets. To move forward and look for better solutions to the mortgage crisis, the United States government must withdraw support and let private lending take a larger role in the housing market. We can all agree here that Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac need to be winded down, so to speak. Therefore, as Senator Condai said, if Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac are actually in the private sector, how can they still be run by the government? He's talking about monopolized Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, but the Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac was taken over by the government in 2008. Also, rather than relying on sole government intervention, it would be more efficient to pass the Protecting American Taxpayers and Homebuyers, or PATH Act. The PATH Act accomplishes multiple goals. 1. It reduces Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac over a 5-year period. 2. It reduces the huge burden placed on private investment. 3. It reforms the Federal Housing Administration, which could suffer substantial losses if we are not in a subprime market and risky borrowers receive money that they cannot pay back. Already, $200 billion of hard-earned tax money was put into keeping Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac alive. $200 billion. There's no need to make, how much more money can our taxpayers put in? I say no more. It is time to move away from these government-controlled mortgage markets and to start putting the risk in private lenders. That way taxpayers do not stand to lose. Senator Condai talked of tools that Washington could give. These tools are no more than just new mandates and policies that make it difficult for private lenders, that cause confusion among private lenders, and make it difficult for them to actually be the backbone of the mortgage market, as Barack Obama suggested in his speech. Therefore, my fellow senators, I know you will vote in the affirmation of the PATH Act and stand with me against government support. Thank you. Questions?
You said that we should get rid of Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. However, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac's mortgages perform 5 times better than mortgages originating from private label securitization, which over time will make up for the $200 billion that we used to save them, as I'll say.
Yes, over time, but you're forgetting that since we're still keeping these companies alive with taxpayers' money, $200 billion is just a start. In the future, that sum will actually increase.
Senator Ravindran?
You said that we should get rid of Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, just like what Senator Singh said, but I have a different point of this. Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac backstop nearly 90% of the U.S. mortgage market, so what happens to this 90% of the United States people? Where will they get their loans from?
That's why we're saying that private lenders should be able to take more of the credit risk, and private lenders should be able to have more power so they can lend out the money. Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac are going to be reduced in a 5-year period, which will allow these loans to be transferred over to these private lenders.
Senator, if private lenders are forced to take the risk away from the government, what is there to stop them from being discouraged from giving loans to many of the people looking for mortgages?
Well, originally what discouraged private lenders from making these loans is all the mandates and policies the government has placed, which is creating confusion among these lenders. If these mandates were removed along with Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, then private lenders would have no problem giving out money. That also brings my point about reforming the Federal Housing Administration.
Senator Sati, do you have a question? Or Senator Dontham Sethi, any questions? No? Any questions from the floor?
Senator, how do you respond to the fact that the majority of that $200 billion you speak of in saving Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac was put in by the government in order to pull us out of the 2008 financial crisis?
Yes, but we are no longer in that 2008 financial crisis. Now it's time to move away from that so we can once again let private lenders take control of the mortgage market.
You said that we should not wait for the future to get this money back because we're using taxpayer money. However, in fact, in some countries, the United States government, since they bought part of the country as part of the package, they've actually made some money. So this shows that the plan is effective when the U.S. government is involved in the mortgage industry.
So I'm sorry.
They actually the United States government actually made some money because they bailed some of these banks out. So it's showing that, I'm saying that it's not that negative.
But bailing banks out and having the government give out loans is really two different things. It's really two different topics you're speaking about. I'm kind of confused on what your point is.
Because you said, I'm saying that bailing out banks, suppose something does happen and bailing them out is actually not that bad, because if the United States government does get involved in the mortgage market, then it'll have to bail out banks once they fail. And if they do bail it out, the consequences aren't that bad, because some companies, the United States actually made some money.
Which companies are you speaking of?
I don't know them off the top of my head,
Right, but the United States of America, what I'm saying still is that if private lenders were able to take more of the risk, then the government wouldn't have to bail them out. Only because as I said before, if the Federal Housing Administration, this policy was reformed, then banks wouldn't have any problem lending out money. Because those risky borrowers wouldn't be borrowing money in the first place. They wouldn't be allowed to.
Any more questions? Okay, Senator.
Senator, a study by Freddie Mac itself shows that if the government pulled out, then the economy would, the market would shrink significantly, and construction market would also drop by 27%. But what do you have to say in response to this?
Well, keeping in light that Freddie Mac itself is saying this, then again, we can't hold too much on this. First of all, Freddie Mac is being run by the government to begin with, and it's the government itself that started this whole idea of shrinking it down to complete non-existence, that is to say.
Senator Sati, do you have questions? No? Okay. Thank you, Senator Kondal. No, Vinjamuri. Okay.